Happy Sunday, guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend thus far, as well as a beautiful Sunday. Hi, I'm T from Betty and Brenda, and today I'm making another soap, so I'm back to making a soap video this week. Before I get started, though, I want to ask you a quick question. I placed this poll on Instagram and in my stories, and I'm just curious as to what you guys think. What do you think is the worst smell? Bad breath, stinky armpits, or stinky feet? If you'll leave that in the comment section below, I'll give you the results next week once I post my next video, and I'll also let you know what I think. But back to the soap. So I am making a soap for the guys this week. This recipe went pretty well, or this soaping adventure went pretty well, but it did start accelerating a bit on me. I'm telling you, I am just not believing anymore what manufacturers say about whether it's going to accelerate, how it's going to discolor, because this was supposed to have no acceleration. It was only supposed to be a light tan, and you'll see what happened once the video starts rolling. But I have just decided that it pretty much just depends on your recipe, what temperature you're soaping. All of those things come into play, but all in all, it still turned out to be a very nice soap. And more than that, it smells so good. So I'm not going to hold you up anymore. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Make today a self-care day. As you can see, I have my head all tied up here because I am, it's my wash day. I'm going to shampoo my hair. I'm going to do a facial, mud mask, all of those things, and have a wonderful self-care day because we all need it. So on to the video. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
So you'll see that the colors that I'm using on this soap are a little on the darker side, and that's because this soap is for the guys. Now, I don't usually do a lot of soaps for the guys. Most of my customers are female, so I make soap that appeal to them. But, I do have to throw a manly soap in there every now and again because I have a husband and a son, and neither one of them wants to walk around smelling like flowers or baked goods or vanilla. So I always put one in there for them. So there's a black, there's a blue, and there's this really beautiful brown. And it made a really nice bar. The colors really complement each other. And the fragrance I'm using this week is from Nature's Garden. It's mahogany teakwood, and they describe it as earthy with just a little flower and a little fruit. It smells wonderful. Guys, it says, that it's a little more masculine, or some people think it's a little more masculine, but I would totally use this on myself. And that's the recipe that I'm using. I switch up my recipes all the time. I don't just stick with one thing. So you can totally play around with your butters and oils and to make them to your liking. And for my additives, guys, I always put oatmeal in my soaps. And I do this because it's supposed to add hydration. It's really good for sensitive skin. And then I also like to put kale and clay in my bars because it adds a little slip to the bar, and it's also supposed to help remove toxins. But of course, as a soap maker, you can really only say that the bar cleans you. Personally, I just love the way that they make the soap feel on my skin when I'm using it. It's a really creamy lather. You can tell and feel the silkiness in the bar from adding those extra additives. I like to add milks as well. And this soap has goat milk. I'll use coconut milk sometimes. I use powdered milks. And I like to do the milk and oil because to me it's easier than freezing it and slowly adding the lye to melt the milk so that it won't give out the little funky smell. So I like to do it that way. But I also like to put other things in my soaps as well for liquid. Because you'll see my light solution here, I'm adding aloe vera juice. But I have added coffee. I've added, some people add beer. Some people add wine. So it's pretty much to your liking. Guys, soap making should be fun. I mean, there's a seriousness to it. Of course, you should take, special care to make sure you're not hurting yourself. But it should be fun. All the different swirls, the colors, the fragrances, vegan soaps, all natural soaps, adding flowers, so many things you can do. It should be pretty fun to make soap. And I absolutely love what I do. And I hope you guys will too. point, the soap was about a medium trace, which was really nice and kind of where I wanted it. This actually would be the perfect consistency for swirls. But since it's a masculine soap, I'm not doing a lot of swirls. I'm doing actual an in the pot swirl. For the in the pot swirl, you're taking your colors and you're dropping them into your main base. And as you can see here, it started to thicken up on me a bit. But you're dropping them into your main color. You're not using any chopsticks or anything like to give it, or anything like that to give it any extra swirl. Just dropping the colors in. And if you like, you can take your spatula and just kind of move it around in the pot a little bit. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to drop it in and then just pour it into my mold. Now, it did start to thicken up quite a bit here, but it still turned out really nice, as you will see later when I cut the soap. Now, what I'm doing here is actually adding some more of my colors into my main base, because I only added about half of the cup the first time. Because sometimes, when you're doing it in the pot swirl and you pour the colors in there, they don't always make it to the bottom of whatever you're pouring them into. So sometimes I'll just pour half, and then I'll pour about half of it in my mold, and then take the rest of the colors from my cup and pour the other half into my main pitcher here, just to make sure that I have the different colors going all the way through the soap. According to the information for the fragrance, it was not supposed to accelerate. Y'all, it was not supposed to accelerate. And it didn't do just a horrible job. I mean, it didn't just speed it up to the point where it was soap on a stick, but it did accelerate slightly. So you can see here, I am actually having to scoop this out to get it into the mold. By now, the soap was super thick. Oh my goodness. It was like glop, 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 trying to get it to actually go on the top. So it's not what I planned for the top of the soap, but I just got my little stick out and decided I would at least try to give it a try to see if I could get it to do any kind of swirl design on the top. So as you can see here in just a second, I am going to try my best to get it to swirl, but it was too thick on the top at that point. So although I swirled it here, after I cut off the tape, I did not like it. And you'll see when we get to the cut that I changed it completely. At this point, it's been about 2 days since I actually made the soap. Unless I do a C-pop, I will always wait 2 days before I unmold my soap, even with the sodium lactate, because sometimes in my house, I live in the South, it's a little warm, it can still be a little bit sticky. So it's been 2 days, and you can see here that I completely changed the top of the soap. guys, it's the first cut, one of the most exciting parts about soap making, and look at it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's not too swirly. It's perfect for men, not too frou-frou, not too cute, but just perfect. So the fragrance did say that it was going to discolor to a tan, but wait for the pictures at the end. You'll see the color that it actually turned out to be. It's so dark. But that's it for me, guys. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll know every time I put out the video. Follow me on Instagram and or Facebook at Betty and Brenda Bath Co. And like I said, stay and wait to the end. See how this soap looked after it finished curing. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.